What's going on, y'all? It's the Sneakerdogg, and I'm back with another video. Check it out. We got some information that I want to go over. Yo, shout out to my boy, one of my members, T Jones. Shout out to one of my day ones, DBD World. All right, welcome everybody. We are going over the Ally Xbox console, the handheld. So I just want to go over that with y'all today, talk about it a little bit, and then we will kind of talk about just a couple of things here when it comes to that console. So welcome in everybody. Appreciate everybody locking in. If you like the content, make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you ring a ding ding that notification bell so you don't ever miss a video every single time that we post, and we post the most. So the Ally X, the ROG Ally X. I have the Twitter up on the screen. You'll be able to see it. Follow me on Twitter, man, for a chance to win any giveaways that we have going on. Again, appreciate y'all locking in. We have some breaking news about the Ally ROG X. So I just want to talk about how the Ally ROG X is going to be, they have two versions of this coming out. So you could kind of see my tweets here about this. We'll go over the price here in a second. So we won't do too much. You could tell by the title what's really going on, but you get it. There is a price leak that happened today. So the Ally ROG X White, the regular version, not actually the X. So this is the ROG Xbox Ally regular, 599 euros or $691 for that handheld system. That's kind of cheap for like a light version of a handheld. So you guys got to keep that in mind. That ROG Xbox Ally X Black, which is the Ally X, which is the most powerful one, is going to be $1,037 is projected to be. Pre-orders are beginning in about August, launch in October. So basically it's a big wow factor when it comes to the price. $1,000 for a handheld is pretty weak. I hope y'all understand that is really, really high. People were mad at the Switch 2 for how expensive that was. I'm going to go over just a little bit of the specs. There's two versions again. There's the dumbed down or light version like a Switch Lite. That is the Ally regular. This is the specs for that system. Ryzen Z2A, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of SSD. That's just solid state drive, and that's the memory. That's going to be what you basically save your games on. So the Ally X has a little bit better specs. The Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and then 1 terabyte of storage on your system. So it basically features a 7-inch 120 hertz IPS, VRR Xbox inspired grips, 65 watt to 140 watt charging, little suspect on the charging, full Windows 11 with new console operating system. So we're going to talk about the storage for a little bit. It seems like the Ally X has a lot of storage, but not really in comparison to how much storage you'll need to run a regular Xbox game. So these games will be dumbed down a little bit. That's what it seems like. So hopefully you guys understand that that will be dumbed down. Don't understand why it's kind of that way, but anyways, we'll talk about the form factor of the actual console. So can't believe that they have those two versions and they're like a slightly different or whatnot. But here's the thing about the form factor of the comfort and the weight. Basically early hands-on reports. So there is some hands-on reports with these things. There's actual models out there that people are playing with. They say the Ally X is powerful but very heavy. Fatigue kicks in within about 20 minutes. So basically this thing is so heavy that you're going to get tired of holding this big brick. You better start working out right now if you want to even have this Bunchichi box in your hand. Essentially, what we want to talk about with that is that it's a bulk system. It's going to be a heavy system. It doesn't look like it props up at all. So you got to understand that. So this is very bad. I want you to understand how bad that is. The Switch 2 is very light, they say, in comparison to like other handhelds like the Steam Deck and things like that. So wild nature of what's going on when it comes to that system. I don't understand as far as what they're going for as far as the heaviness and like the boxiness of this system. It seems as if they don't really care about the fatigue of the player when they're playing with this. Basically, this is from glitchedonlinepolygon.com. So it's from Polygon. So I don't know. Windows 11 versus basically the console shell. This is a native Windows system. I need you guys to understand what that means. Native Windows system means that it is not an Xbox system. This is a Windows system in an Xbox hoodie. I want you to understand that. This thing is literally just kind of a shell of a handheld that's operating and under the guise. It's like Mimic. You know the old movie Mimic? This thing is mimicking like a Switch to Nintendo, but it's not that synonymous to Xbox. It's really just a Windows system that's masquerading as an Xbox system. It has some fancy buttons that say Xbox on it and it's sponsored by Xbox, but it's really a ROG system and it's heavy and it's bricky and it's big. And I held one recently at the store the other day, one of the previous models, and those things are bricky, man. So you got to understand those things are very large and heavy. So I believe the reports that these things will cause fatigue, and then you'll be dealing with a lot when it comes to that. So essentially, we're going to talk about the game library, right? When it comes to the game library, there is a catch. So does it truly run all Xbox games? It does not. Not only does it not run all Xbox games, only Xbox Play Anywhere games, remote/cloud titles. Remote/cloud titles will be able to be played. So that reminds me of like the PlayStation model where it's basically remote play. Basically not actually running all 700 games natively, closer to about 8% of games. 8% of games will be running natively on this system. That's a little weird to me too. So 700 games, only 60 run. What? So that's the perspective on that is 8%. That's really bad. I want y'all to understand that. I hope that they grow that sentiment because it seems as if they don't understand that the draw with Switch 2 is that it's a handheld that you can actually hold these things and play these games while you're out there doing what you need to do. So we're going to go over, here's the Xbox Ally ROG. I'll go over my tweet. I said, oh, Ally Xbox marketed like it's the second coming of a handheld gaming, but in reality it's just confused Windows device in an Xbox hoodie. Imagine owning over 700 Xbox games and this thing lets you play about 60 of them. That's about 8%. Not 80. Dirty dog. You got to understand, doggy. That's bad, man. So I just want you to understand that's pretty terrible. We're going to see what Grok has to say about this. What does Grok have to say about this, right? Grok. What does Grok have to say about it, man? Sneakerdogg critique highlights the Ally Xbox, a handheld device marketed as gaming revolution but limited to playing only 60 out of 700 plus Xbox games due to its Windows-based system, a fact supported by Xbox Wire June 9th, 2025. Announcement of its integration with ASUS's Armory Crate, which prioritizes PC versatility over full Xbox library compatibility. The post humor, paired with the cartoon dog image, reflects a growing skepticism around gamers, aligning with the True Achievements report from June 13, 2025, suggesting Microsoft canceled its first-party handheld, indicating potential industry shifts toward third-party collaborations like the ROG Ally X. Data from ASUS ROG sites reveal the device uses AMD Ryzen Z2 processors with AI-ready NPUs, yet its 8% game compatibility rate underscores a mismatch between hardware potential and software optimization, a concern echoed in peer-reviewed gaming tech analysis questioning Windows handhelds' practicality. So you have to understand that is insane. Even Grok is actually sourcing an Xbox RAN system, an Xbox RAN X page. So that's insane, bruh. So this isn't me saying this. Xbox is telling you this. So understand that you just should really pay attention to what I'm telling you, man. I'm only giving you the facts. If you want to look at it, we're looking at it right now. I said the price looking as beefy as the system. Bro, you got to follow me on Twitter. I'm a riot, bruh. ROG Ally White, $691, and this is what it looks like. So I just want you to take a look at what it actually looks like. We're going to put it up on the screen, full screen, for everybody to take a look at that. They had a lot of weird stuff, so I'm glad that in the post in the bottom, they didn't show what it looked like all these weird posts that they have on Twitter sometimes. It's a little dangerous going on Twitter while you're live, boys. I'm going to keep it real. Anyway, the final verdict of this is going to be, it is a really, really premium price on this thing. For you to get very little compensation when it comes into the form of you playing 700 plus of your Xbox games, it's just a glorified Windows system that plays a few good top-notch games, maybe not even top-notch, but whatever the capability of the system is that allows you to go ahead and have that play on that system is probably why they mention practicality in this. I want you guys to understand that sounds pretty harsh when it comes to a consumer getting ready to purchase something that they should actually be able to get. You know, the Ally ROG X seems like a great concept, but in hindsight of them dropping it, I wonder if they would have just kept it in the lab and updated a little bit of the weightiness of this system so that you weren't getting fatigued when you try to play your little 8% of your games that are on your Bunchichi box. Alright, boys, I'm going to just dial it back. Enough of the shenanigans, aka shenanigans, if you don't know how I speak on this channel, man. Come on, man. Let the Bozokians know what's going on, my boy. If you like the content, I want you to go ahead and lock in, man. I'm just taking a brief break of the content. I'm not done with the video, but I do want you to understand that we have about 57% of you guys that are subscribed to the channel. I would like to raise that number to about 75% if we can. I know a lot of people don't slap the like button. A lot of people don't support in that way. But if you could take the time, pull out your phone if you are watching on your TV or a tablet or something, or you're not signed in. If you have a signed in device, I would appreciate it if you go ahead and slap that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really does help the algorithm understand that we are cooking over here, boys. And I hope you like the thumbnail. I put in about a good hour and a half on making that and refining that thumbnail and cooking that up for y'all. So I really do love the boys, man, and the Dog Pound family. Please go ahead and lock in, man. Turn on the notification bell if you do not want to miss a video every single time that we post, and you know dang well that we post the most. The Ally ROG X, in conclusion, seems like it has a lot of brute horsepower that is not going to be harnessed. Windows flexibility that may not actually utilize the full potential of Xbox's catalog. With the hefty weight and low Xbox catalog capability, I think it is great tech, but borderline a bad formula. $1,000 for a Windows login simulator in Xbox clothing is very, very, very bad tech and very, very bad price point. I don't know who's running the show over there at Xbox, but we got to talk a little bit here. Invite me over there. I'll talk to you about what the consumers really want. And it's not a really hefty, big old system like that, man. So I don't know. Is this a copper drop, y'all? Let me know in the comments below. Let's build the hype or let's bury it. I don't know. Y'all let me know, man. It's been a Sneakerdogg. I'm out. Love y'all, bro.